Breaking news coming out of Ewood Park, of course, surrounding the signing, or not, or lack of, Duncan McGuire. The transfer that we were all looking forward to, all excited about, the potential of a new figurehead for Rovers, whether it was going to be this season or whether it was going to be next season. I don't care. He was a young, exciting forward in the vein of a Diaz, perhaps, a guy who had a whole decade or some of football at the top level ahead of him. And of course, a player that we've been touted for, I think, for a good 6 to 8 months, 10 months, something like that. There were links with this guy for a long, long time, and we made the move for this transfer window. And of course, the media, not the media, the social media scape around the guy picked up, and I was a good part of that. I was very excited, of course, the potential of this deal going through. This could be the guy that gets us the goals, a striker that we've been screaming out for many, many years. Of course, we've been fortunate over the past 5 years to have great strikers, the Danny Grahams, the Adam Armstrongs, the Diaz. To a point, Sam Gallagher has been here throughout the thick of it and trying to chip in with the goals when he's been fit and available. But the Gallagher time is running out, of course, and we need a striker, and this was meant to be the kid. But of course, this is Blackburn Rovers, and currently we are a farce. We are a circus. We're a bunch of clowns at the top of the hierarchy here. Whether it's CEO, whether it's the board, it's an absolute bunch of nitwits, dumbwits, complete idiots, for want of a better word, running this club to the ground. This is another clear indication that we are on a hiding to nothing. Of course, the plans were in place 18 months ago to bring in a director of football, new coach, exciting coach. A project was instilled after the end of a Tony Mowbray era, which lasted for 5 years, when change was needed back then for this team to progress a little bit further. But we didn't take that move. We decided to see out the contract with Mowbray. He's, of course, went on to steer Sunderland to the playoffs. Well done to him then. And again, for whatever reason, he, of course, has been made a scapegoat in Sunderland's case. This is the straw that's broken my back here with Blackburn Rovers. This deal, which was, of course, was a transfer race that looked to be going this way in that bit of a roller coaster. Are we going to sign it? Are Sheffield Wednesday going to sign it? Of course, it was back in our hands after we screwed up the initial transfer to then reinvent the wheel and try and get the deal on the cheap, really, alone with the prospect to make a permanent deal in the future. And that other team, of course, Sheffield Wednesday, are also run by a bunch of clowns, a circus of a club at the moment. And of course, it looks at the minute we are on a free fall together, hand in hand, us and Wednesday going back to League One. But I cannot see a world right now with this current CEO, this current board, that this club will ever grace the promised land of the Premier League ever again. We're making a clueless decision after clueless decision. Lightning striking once last year with Lewis O'Brien was one thing. Then, of course, the Brealey deal with, of course, the young lad from Rochdale, touted as the next best thing. Oh, that deal's done. That'll come through in the summer. My arse did it come through in the summer. Another botched up transfer deal. This one, of course, is the one that really hurts me the most. I was excited. The kid will hopefully go on to big, good, exciting things. I'm here in the USA. He's dashed down the road in Orlando. So to see somebody of such a young age to be the next figurehead for Blackburn Rovers in a team that's been screaming out for a new figurehead. We've had the Dax, we've had the Diaz, we've had Armstrong, of course. We've got the Smollish right now. Of course, he ain't going to stick around in this madhouse. And of course, I think it's just that Adam Wharton is the first of many assets that are going to be sold over this the next period of time. And of course, and that's just going to line Venky's pockets with cash, nothing to be reinvested. So let's do that a little bit here. I'm on a bit of a rant. The 22 million you just generated from the Adam Wharton deal, where is that money going? Where is that money? Now, in an ideal, perfectly run club, or at least a decent or an okay run club, you would see a portion, a 40% maybe, of that funds getting reinvested into the club. Let's say 10 million should be reinvested into this club. Now, if that doesn't happen in the summer, then of course, where is all that cash going? I know you have to balance the books and this and that and the other, but you get 22 million. Surely 12 million is enough to sustain the model that is this project that we've been brainwashed into thinking is happening. Of course, last season, very, very close to the playoffs. Now we've gone right back the other way, and we are free falling down into League One with, of course, just 5 points separating for us from that drop zone, which, of course, is vastly coming up upon us. 2 massive games ahead. We've got Stoke, we've got Birmingham, both in and around that discussion as well. We'll pick up no points in that. If you don't pick up maximum points, I think we're going to be sucked into that relegation zone very, very soon. But Duncan McGuire, this is the statement, of course. Let me bring it onto the screen. Here it is, of course, coming at you from Twitter right here, right now, the club statement. And I will read in full disclosure here. Of course, the comments are already quite toxic, I would imagine. Club statement, Duncan McGuire. Duncan McGuire's proposed loan move to Blackburn Rovers from MLS side Orlando City has not been approved by the EFL to date due to the registration documents being submitted after the 11 p.m. transfer deadline. All of the necessary signed paperwork has been completed prior to 10 p.m. on Thursday, February the 1st. However, due to an administrative error, there you go. There's the fault right there. The forms were not processed within the prescribed times, of course. That is lightning striking twice. Heads should roll. Greg, CEO. Well, really, it should be CEO because we've been under this guide or this mentorship or this hierarchy for a number of years, and shit has not gotten any better. I'll conclude or continue. Detailed discussion with the legal representatives and the relevant football authorities have taken place over the past few days to try and reach an urgent and positive resolution to the matter, which will not happen, guys. I'm telling you that now. No positive resolution is going to come from this. The club's lawyers are prepared the required paperwork and sent to the EFL board, who will consider the case on Thursday, February the 8th. Of course, you want to know who their lawyer is? Well, I'll show you who their lawyer is. It's this fella right here, of course. It's Saul Goodman. He's going to do bugger all to save your case here, Rovers. You're going free falling. This deal ain't happening. Let's conclude. Orlando City have allowed Duncan McGuire to remain in the UK pending the EFL's board decision. He will return to the United States, where he'll rejoin his club ahead of the MLS 2024 MLS season should his registration not be approved. Guess what? He's coming back to Orlando. I'll greet him at the bloody airport. Of course, should the appeal be refused, then the Blackburn Rovers will then attempt to reach a pre-contract agreement with Orlando City over the coming weeks to enable the player to officially join the club on a permanent basis when the 2024 summer transfer window opens. We'll be in League One, by the way. Again, this club will make no further comment on this matter in its time. Let's take the poor lad Duncan McGuire first here. He flies over with the promise of a deal to England, whether it is with Blackburn Rovers, whether it is Sheffield Wednesday, of course. In mid-air, the permanent deal for Rovers, allegedly was pulled. Then Sheffield Wednesday was then the choice for him to have a discussion with them. Of course, no disrespect, of course, happening. Let it happen, let it be. If the deal falls through, go. Of course, your next best thing. At least have a word with them. Of course, that deal then, of course, our deal was reignited, which I believe shows where his heart is at. His heart is at Ewood Park. He wants to be a part of this project. He wants to be part of this team. But right now, it's an absolute circus to see whether or not this deal gets done for now or with appeal, and of course in the summer. So the kid's being dragged left, right, and centre, of course, and he was even announced with the shirt, holding the shirt up. We made a little video. Rovers made a little video announcing the signing. How cringeworthy or how stupid and embarrassing does that look for a club? Oh my gosh! How do we live with these things? How do we get by? How do we get by through in the EFL? Who else makes fucking stupid shit like that when nothing is done? 100% heads have to fucking roll, of course. And he's made this point. And of course, I've been on his case for the form of the team. The team has suffered majorly over the past who knows what. And of course, we cannot really blame this Duncan McGuire situation on the form of the club. The form of the club was shit prior to this deal. So JDT has to get something together. But when you're being surrounded by idiots, buffoons that are making shit like this go happen, that's going to drip down into the team. It's going to drip down into the form, into the coach, everything. So the players are feeling the ramifications of such chaos and stupidity that's happening in the administrative side of this thing. Whoever, for the second fucking year, major signing has not gone through due to paperwork, administrative errors, whether it is on purpose or whether it is by accident, something has to happen here. And again, For once, the one lasting picture in this toxic environment has been the CEO, Steve Waggett. He's been here through the get-go for the past couple, knows how many years. There's stuff popping out on social media about his money-grabbing ways, his sleaziness, and of course, why have we been left to rot in this situation? Why can't we get a fucking straight answer? Why isn't not this bit of paper stuck out here? Why isn't Waggett out here doing an interview, answering some of these questions? And why on earth, are we, at the moment, I cannot see a scenario where we're going to stick around in this league, and sacking JDT is not the answer. I believe in the guy. I think he's a genuine fella, of course, offering to resign when the project changed, and we get that. We understand that. When, of course, your owner's shirts, your purse strings have been tightened, of course, we have to cut back. All the businesses have to cut back. I understand that. And yes, he opted or offered to let him go, walk for free. But no, the board said, you know what, let's stick with this fancy pants football, of course, try and work with what we've got. Of course, we've got some great players here, great young players. Maybe, of course, we'll be able to navigate the season and get through it in the end. But so I don't blame JDT for the toxicity. Of course, I'm blaming him for the form because he has to get a tune out of this team. And of course, yes, this idiotic result here with the Duncan McGuire thing has a major downgrade on our potential to stick around in this division because he's a striker. Of course, he might not have been the answer for us this season, but I just feel he would have galvanised the team. Mega signing, spent some money, and of course showing us that the club are behind this, or the owners are behind the club here. They are, despite their financial situation, we just generated 22 million. We are putting a little bit of money into the services of this touted young striker. He's going to be here next season. We're going to be, of course, a force to be reckoned with, perhaps, but no, that's gone. They pulled that out mid-air, opted for a loan, which of course was an option to buy. Which of course I get the business logic if that's genuine, and I don't know. The thing is now I am questioning everything I see from the club. I do not believe the statements and of course the logic and the reasonings behind a lot of the stuff. I do not believe it's genuine. There's no transparency here. It's taken I don't know. The transfer window shut Thursday evening. You had Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. That's Tuesday. This is the first thing we've actually heard from the club. There's no transparency. No comment will be made. No further comment at the bottom of that. It's ludicrous. It's mayhem. And we need to change. It's got to change. Why are we dealing with this? Why have we become such a joke of a club right now? It is riddled from the hierarchy here, from the owners to, of course, whoever's sitting at that board, the CEO as well, and all that mess. That is where it all starts. Shit starts at the top and dribbles down into the rest of the thing. And, of course, we have seen that shit now on the pitch because the team is just not playing. The heart and soul has been ripped out. We've sold one of our own, and none of that money seems to be reinvested. I hope, of course, the EFL appeal works in our favour, but they never do. They never work. If this does happen, then I'll get Duncan McGuire's name tattooed on my ass, of course. But it ain't going to happen, guys. So put your tattoo guns away. Shambles at Ewood Park continues.